One club, resilience, together. We are proud of who we are and what we do. We are a founding member of the Football League. We are 1884. We are positive, inspired and passionate. We are now. We are moving together. We are ambitious and driven. We are progress. We are change. We are prepared, honest and humble. We are the highs. We are the lows. We are the heartbeat of our community. We are the famous black and white. We are the dreams come true. We are the club of opportunity. We are the memories. We are the yet to come. We are Derby.
Hello and welcome to the preview show from RamsTV. Your build-up to another big weekend in League One starts here. Here at Pride Park Stadium, it's Derby County against Blackpool. It's a game with big implications in both the automatic promotion and playoff races, but everyone's in action today. So here's how things stand going into this Easter weekend. Well, Portsmouth are in the box seat, 5 points clear at the top of the table. Derby second, but they've now played a game more than both Pompey and Bolton, who are 4 points behind. Peterborough and Barnsley trail the Rams by 7, with 2 games in hand apiece. As for Blackpool, a win today could see them move into the top 6. There are a couple of scenarios that could see Derby clinch a playoff place today. It's looking a little more interesting at the bottom now, with Burton and Cambridge both just 3 points clear of the relegation zone. Things still pretty bleak for Fleetwood and for Carlisle, whose return to League Two will be confirmed any day now. So that's how things stand going into today's game here at Pride Park Stadium. You'll hear from Blackpool boss Neil Critchley and the Derby head coach Paul Warne a little later in the programme. But we'll start with the Rams and start with the man who has been an absolute colossus for Derby throughout this season, Curtis Nelson, a big part of the side that's competing for a place in the top 2 come the end of the season, but not able to stop the Rams falling to defeat at Northampton last weekend. He knows what's required today.
Obviously, we've got to bounce back from the game on the weekend and go and get 3 points on Friday.
What went wrong at Northampton? Did you think you were far off it, or?
Yes and no. Obviously, we weren't at our best as a team, and collectively, we know that we need to do better. So it's just a case of, like I said before, just put our chances away, keep the ball out of the net, and get 3 points. It doesn't matter how we do it at this point of the season. It just matters about how many points we can put on the board.
We'll look ahead to a big Easter for you in a minute, but we were talking to Erin Cashin last week. Had lots of nice things to say about you. The pair of you have sort of been the constant in the side this season. You in particular. Just tell us about your relationship with Cash, how you see it.
He's really good. He's obviously, he's a great player, and he's attracted interest from places which you'd expect with the performances he's been putting in, and obviously his age and potential and everything else going forward. So credit to him and obviously what he's done so far. But we just need him to keep going, and we need him, and I need him for the rest of the season, for this last 6 games, and to get us to where we want to go. He's really easy to get on with. Can't really say much bad about him, other than he did something to me the other day in the canteen that I owe him for, to my food, and I don't like food banter. But yeah, I'll get him back for that. But he's a good lad. He's a good character in the change room, obviously. So
yeah, we know he's a bit of a joker from time to time.
Yeah, he's a joker, and you might be meeting his match now.
You seem to get on well. You seem to have a good relationship on the field. How quickly do you mesh with a player and develop an understanding with a player?
I don't know. It kind of just comes with time, I guess. Obviously, playing that pre-season games and then starting the season and having a good run, like towards the start, like at the start of the season together, was kind of key, I guess, to building and like understanding how he plays and all that kind of stuff, and like just kind of bouncing off each other really with terms of like how our games kind of complement each other.
You're the senior member of the partnership. Do you feel as though you have a sort of mentor role? Are you teaching him? Is he learning from you?
No, I don't think I could teach any. He's the one that's had the interest, not me. So no, he's just like, obviously he's like, he's got everything. He's got like the pace and the power and stuff like that. So technically he's very good as well. You've seen him like sprays diags around and that, but there's just like things that if I might see in a game that he might not see, but the same, it works both ways. He'll see something and he'll tell me. So I guess we're learning off each other, and we always help each other out. It's the same when Sonny plays as well. We club together, and the goal is the same, is keep a clean sheet. So it doesn't matter who's saying what, to like the seniority or the age or whatever, doesn't really come into it. Not
many games to go, starting with Blackpool on Good Friday. How do you feel going into this final stretch?
Good. As good as I felt all season. Body's good, touch wood. No issues on that front, and just confident. I guess you can't be overconfident with any game, but I think if we can go there and perform like we know we can, well, so you go there at Pride Park anyway, we can definitely get the 3 points. The
atmosphere against Bolton was electric. How important is that sort of support going to be through these final games?
Yeah, massive. The noise after the goal was deafening. It was unbelievable. So I think they definitely helped, and obviously having them behind us for the other 80 minutes or whatever it was before we scored or whatever it was unbelievable as well. So if we can have that for the next however many home games we've got left, is it three games left? Yeah, if it helps us get 9 points on the board, it's massive.
Curtis Nelson there, and we are expecting nearly 30,000 here once again at Pride Park Stadium. Just terrific support. They'll be watching two sides that could yet face each other in the League One playoffs, of course. That would be a consolation for Derby at this stage. But just like the automatic promotion race, the playoff race looks as though it will go right down to the wire. Let's take a look at it in a little more detail. Oxford United, top 2 contenders for so long, currently occupy that final playoff spot, but Stevenage, Inform Lincoln and Blackpool are all within 3 points. Even Leyton Orient might consider themselves in the race. Blackpool have a pretty kind run-in to come, has to be said, but head coach Neil Critchley is only focused on today.
You know, I'm going to repeat myself, it is an old cliche, it is one game at a time. We're fully focused on Derby. We know what a good team they are. What a tough proposition they are away from home, and we've just been focused on that the last few days. Prior to that, I say we worked on a few things that we thought would be important in the next 7 games, but then this week has been eyes right on Derby.
And it's a double header, as you say, starting with Derby County. The team has already gone to Pride Park and won there this season. How tough a challenge is this?
Yeah, it's a huge challenge, but it's a great challenge. You know, I think there'll be a big crowd. You know, I think they had 30,000 or something like that against Bolton. I'm sure it'll be similar on Friday. They're off the back of a defeat, so they'll be at home. They'll be looking to put that right. We've been there and won in the cup this season early on, but then they beat us in the league. There was little between the two teams on both occasions, in my opinion. We scored first and won. They scored first and won the league game. But if you look at moments within both of those games, it could have if it had gone for the other team, it could have had a different bearing on the outcome of the game. So we're fully respectful of a team that's full of experience, know-how, manager and coaching staff who know how to get out of this league. But what a great game. What a great game to go and showcase yourself and hopefully go there and win the game.
And that competitiveness that you've touched on there, how important is to have that over the final 7 games of the season and try and stay in all the games as much as you can?
Well, we're sort of in a mini season, in a mini league, and it's up to us to try and outperform everyone else around us. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of twists and turns along the way, even within those 7 games. Teams have got to play each other, take points off each other. So it's just about, keeping that level of perspective, that balance, making sure we're prepared, making sure we're right mentally and physically, and but being us, making sure that we go and play our game and do what we're good at. And if we do, then we know we're capable of winning games. Our focus is on Derby, nothing more. The other games will take care of itself after.
That's Neil Critchley, whose Blackpool side are coming off a defeat at Wigan a fortnight ago. They've been pretty inconsistent of late, but have had some very impressive results, including wins over Peterborough and Bolton, and a draw with leaders Portsmouth recently too. The big news for them today is that top scorer Jordan Rhodes is out. A knee injury means he may not feature again this season. Blackpool not the only ones with injury worries at the moment. Derby have an entire 11 out just now. So how's the squad looking today? Paul Warne's the man to tell us.
A little bit threadbare, possibly. We've got a few issues, as everyone knows. I've even got a starting 11 of injured players at the moment, so that's disappointing. But as I always say, it's next man up. You can't cry about it now. Just got to try and do what we can. Obviously, Sonny's missing as well, so that's a blow. So we're gonna have to look at different things. The good news is Nat's got a really good chance. So his scan result came back positive. So it's just to do with his scar tissue and that. But scans are all well and good. So if a scan says there's no issue, however, if the player feels pain, there is an issue, isn't there? So all they do is guideline the road back to recovery, really. So, but we're hopeful that Nat's going to be on the grass today, and then he'll be available for selection, which is great, because when I left the ground on Saturday with everybody else, disappointed with the result, obviously, but the way I think, the result's over, 4:45, there's nothing you can do about it then. You have to let it go, but then you have to reassess for the next game, and if you've got injuries and suspensions and all that as well, it makes it harder. So hopefully Nat will be available for this game. He won't train with the squad today. He'll train with the physios on the grass and train with the squad tomorrow, hopefully. But I don't honestly know yet. But if he isn't available for this, then he's definitely be available for Pompey.
I won't go through every single player because we'll be here a while. But James Collins, I did want to ask about, because he travelled to Northampton with you and doing bits ahead of the game. Great to see. How close is he now?
Yeah, he's close. He trained. We'll see what he's like in training today. Obviously, Waggy started the other day. Wash came on. Colo, the game was a bit too soon. He's still ahead of schedule. However, if he, out of my strikers, is the best one in the next 2 days, then he can have the jersey. It's pretty simple, really. So, but he is really close. So, in the way that, as long as he doesn't have some setback, he'll definitely be in the squad for Friday's game.
You mentioned Northampton and the fact that the result is there, and you move on from it. How do you put it right?
Just as we always do, really. You just got to let it go. First and foremost, you have to try and learn from it. The lessons I asked the lads, what was the good parts of the game, and what do we learn from it? But realistically, it doesn't matter what the game is, what the opposition is. If you don't take your chances, you're never going to win. So we created probably 4 very good chances and conceded 2 very good chances, and we didn't take them. And whether we play well or not play well, it's always down to that. It's always down to that. So you can play a lot better and lose 3-0, or you can play significantly worse and win 2-0. So it's just about re-emphasising the fact that don't waste periods of the game. Don't think that, look, we'll be okay. If it's a chance to take a lead in the first 10 minutes, you've got to try and take it. Just reassure the lads that they're in a good place. We would have took this place at the start of the season. We've done something with them in a meeting on Monday. We've done something with the lads about where we were in the league table every month, like so the position you're in is really good, and which it is, and it's better to have points in the bag. And it's just disappointing that we didn't take anything from the weekend, but honestly, it doesn't surprise me. I said last week that you're not going to win every game to the end of the season, and football has a nice way of giving you a good crack. So, so we just take the positives from the performance. Wasn't great. We created enough chances to win. We didn't take it, and then obviously we get frustrated at the end, which is disappointing. But we have to put a performance on in the next 2 games to stay in the hunt.
There is Derby boss Paul Warne. Here's what's happening around League One this afternoon in terms of teams toward the top of the table. Leaders Portsmouth are at Wycombe, Bolton travel to Stevenage, Barnsley host Cambridge, and Peterborough welcome bottom of the table Carlisle. We'll keep you up to date with all those important scorelines in Matchday Live on RamsTV this afternoon from 2:30. Remember, you can watch Derby County against Blackpool wherever you are in the UK or abroad. We're available worldwide this afternoon. So get your Game Pass now at dcfc.co.uk. I'll see you in a couple of hours. Goodbye.